We're now going to work up the potato mixture first, the potato filling. In order to do this, on the website we discuss using a potato masher to mix it all up, to break the potatoes up. In the past few years we've changed because we think that we get a fluffier potato mixture when we use a ricer. Now this is a ricer, or a spätzle maker in fact, and it works really well for dealing with the potatoes. Just stick a few in here and just send them through there. As you can see, what it's doing is ricing the potatoes. They tend to be more fluffy, at least we believe that's what happens. Now these potatoes are dry. We've drained them, as you can see in a colander, so they're just dry. Okay, I'll finish up with this and get back in a few seconds. So, here's my riced potatoes. The other advantage, of course, is that there's no lumps in this. Once they go through the ricer, it's nice and fine. It's almost like spaghetti. So this is a very nice fluffy material. So now we're getting close to a completion with this. Now it's time to add the flavoring to it. I have here, hopefully you can see, the garlic bulbs. They look nicely toasted, roasted. So now I'm going to take out the meat from the bulbs, and this may or may not work very easily. But let's hope it does, and just squeeze out the innards for each clove, and it is working very nicely. That means that this is also a fresh clove of garlic, but I know that because they were picked in July and dried. Now, you're also witnessing somewhat of an experiment. In addition to the roasted nutty flavor, garlic flavor, we're also going to add in some, this is messy, yes. Going to add in some regular garlic. The reason is that although we certainly get a really nice flavor from the garlic, it's roasted garlic, it's almost too mild for us. So in fact, we're going to add some regular, 2 cloves here of regular garlic. I'm going to chop those up, and we're going to add that to the potato mix. So we'll see how that comes out. Okay, now I'm going to go off camera just to chop up the rest of the garlic and mix it in, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now I've minced the garlic, and despite showing you the knife doing that, I cheated and used the food chopper on this. I want it really nice and fine in this case. And again, this is somewhat of an experiment for us this year. See how we like really garlic. Now, what I'm going to do is mash these roasted garlic cloves. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now we're going to toss this in to the potatoes. And I'm going to put in the minced garlic. Stir that around just a bit to break it out before I put the onion in. Okay, now I said before that I was going to put the onion in a flat pan, which I did. and that's here. Now the reason for this is kind of, well, you may call it kind of weird, but I want to use 1/3 of this for each of the 3 mixtures. So this allows me to judge what is 1/3 of the onion. And if you feel like laughing, go right ahead. If you're good enough that you don't need to do it that way, be my guest. Any way you want to handle your onion is up to you. And I'm now going to just then pull out the 1/3 that will go into the potato. And keep in mind, we still have the sauerkraut, Kapusta as it's called. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly in German, or rather in Polish. Okay, now I'm going to spread this around as best I can. Mix it all in. Now, I haven't added any salt and pepper yet. That is another thing I will need to do. Just want to distribute the onion first a little bit. Oh, it's looking great. Okay, so now we're going to add salt and pepper. And that, of course, it's as usual to taste, but you're going to find you need a fair amount of salt in this. All right, those of you who have high blood pressure, yeah, I know what you're doing. You're fainting now, but we still need a fair amount of salt. This is potato, this is just potato, cooked potato, so you got to give it some kind of a kick. And of course, black pepper here. We use a coarse pepper. We kind of prefer that to a real fine pepper. And again, we like a little bit of kick. So now, just to mention that we have had people from the Southwest write to us, email us, and say how they have kind of blended Tex-Mex with Polish pierogi, and they will put chilies into their potato and cheese, cheddar cheese, for instance. And then they sometimes serve it with salsa or some kind of a spicy tomato sauce. It's not enough pepper. I need a lot more pepper. A lot of potato here, so we're not dealing with a small amount. A little more salt. I think it needs it. And then I'll do a taste test. Get that mixed in. You can see the potato is nice and fluffy, and we could use a mixer, but it just tends to make things too fine. We'll lose the fluffiness, we'll lose the air, and we just like the way this is right now. You want to make sure it's well mixed. Don't want to cheat anybody and give them just potato alone. You want to make sure they've got a good mix of onion and pepper in there. And there's my taste test, just popped out of the pan. Perfect. But I have to have one final person check. Okay, the taste tester said it was fine, but I'm kind of overruling that. I think it still needs a little more pepper. So just want you to see that I'm adding more. And that's got to be enough. It's just salty enough. So mix that in. Again, make sure you do it thoroughly so it's even. And this now is finished until tomorrow morning when we start actually filling the pierogi. Now I'm going to move on to the cabbage and the sauerkraut filling. Just to give you an update on time, I have now been working roughly for 2 hours and 45 minutes on this. Now admittedly I've been working on the camera too to some extent, but this is about normal for how long it takes. This is another reason for making all these fillings the day before. So we'll move on to the next filling in a second.